Happy Monday, friends, and welcome to this virtual yoga practice from the boardwalk on San Pedro Creek. I'm Cassandra from Mobile Om Yoga, and I'm so grateful to have you joining me for this online practice brought to you by our sponsors at the San Antonio River Authority. Today, we're going to start out in child's pose. So go ahead and unroll your mat, and let's come down to our knees to get started. You're going to take your knees wide, about mat width distance, big toes nestled together, and then walk your fingertips towards the front of your mat, bringing the forehead down and just allowing yourself to get grounded here. Perhaps you walk your fingers or your hands a little wider towards the sides of your mat. Melt the shoulders away from your ears. If you haven't yet, close your eyes and then begin to drink in some really deep, full breaths in through the nose. And you can let it out the mouth, opening it up, and as you exhale, softening and sinking, grounding down a little deeper here. So a few more big, full inhales. Open mouth sigh. Let's take one more big full breath in. And on your exhale, let it out. Press into the palms of your hands. Begin to lift yourself up. Bring shoulders to stack up over the wrists. Knees underneath your hips. Finding a nice tabletop pose here. We're going to match our breath with some movement of the spine. So as you inhale, let the belly drop into a cow pose. Gaze lifts as you really open up the heart space. Exhale, tuck and round. Rounding the chin under, tucking the tailbone, pressing the back of the heart up towards the sky. And then moving on your breath, inhaling into that arched space. Exhaling into that dome back. A couple more on your own, inhaling and exhaling, really allowing this moment to help you arrive in your body and what it's telling you today on this Monday evening. A couple more rounds with your breath. And let's go ahead and pause in a neutral spine. You're going to begin to shift the weight and shift into that left knee and shin. Take an inhale, reach your right leg back behind you. You're going to bend the knees at a 90-degree angle, the right knee. Begin to open the knee up, and you're just bringing it out to the right side. So we're beginning to work a little bit of the obliques here. And then I want you to kick that right heel straight out. Take a moment here. And then you're just going to set that right foot down right where it's at, right outside your knee. I'm turning to face you. You can see where I'm at. Hands are going to come in towards that left knee, and you're going to have that right foot out to the side. Turn your right toes open. You're going to open up your arms and then begin to bend into that right knee. So get really deep into the right side. So we're going to inhale, bring your hands back together at your heart. And as you exhale, sink into that right knee. Inhale, come back together. And exhale, sink out. So one more time, inhale, come up to center. And as you exhale, sink into that right knee and stay as deep as you can go here. We're going to begin to tick-tock the arms, bringing the right elbow just inside of that right knee, left arm stretching up towards the sky. Really reach it up high here. Take another inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, begin to come back upright, straightening the right leg, opening the arms out to either side. We're going to take the left hand to the outside of that left hip and knee, and then start to stretch open into the right side body by reaching the right arm overhead. You can stay here with the right foot planted, or maybe working that right obliques by lifting the right leg, stretching it long here. And then as you exhale, go ahead and set your right foot down. Bring the right hand down and just walk your hands back forward so that you're in that tabletop with the right leg out. You're going to lift the right leg once again and then begin to swing it all the way back. Turn the toes down. Take an inhale, lift the gaze, lift the heel. And then as you exhale, set the right knee down. Take a cat-cow, reset your spine, belly drops on an inhale, and you tuck and round on that exhale. And then pause right here in a neutral spine. This time shifting into the right side, you're gonna inhale, reach the left leg, starting out nice and long. Then bend the knees 90 degrees, foot facing straight up towards the sky or ceiling. Then begin to turn that knee open. I like to imagine I'm like a dog at a fire hydrant. You're gonna bring the knee, that left knee out in line with your hip, and then kick that left heel out to the side. Take an extra breath here. Just challenge yourself, then bring the left foot down, hands walk in towards that right shin as you come to standing towards that gate pose, standing up on that right shin. You're gonna pivot the left toes to face towards the side as you bend into that left knee, open up your arms. So bringing that movement in on this side. Inhale, you're gonna straighten up, bring the palms together. As you exhale, get deep once again in that left knee. Inhale, come in together. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale, back up. And exhale, bend deep. All right, one more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink into that left knee and pause at your deepest point. We'll begin to tick-tock the arms. Let the left elbow become a brace on the inside of your knee as you stretch and reach your right arm up towards the sky. So big open heart, opening that left hip. One more breath. Empty out. As you inhale, start to spring up. As you come upright, arms parallel to the earth, straighten that left knee. Bring the right hand outside the right knee. Left arm begins to sweep overhead, finding that long side body stretch on the left side. And again, you can intensify by lifting the left foot off of the mat, finding some heat, some fire in your obliques. One more breath in. If you lifted the foot, let the exhale bring the left foot down. Then you're just gonna walk your hands back, forward, finding yourself in that tabletop with the left foot out. Begin to activate, lift the left foot out to the side, and then you'll swing it all the way back. Take another inhale to lift the gaze, lift the heel. And then on your exhale, bring your left knee down to meet your right. Take your hands, one palm print forward, and then tuck your toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Bend the right knee, let the left heel sink a little longer. Switch sides, bend the left knee, right heel sinks. One more time, right knee bends, left heel sinks. And left knee bends, right heel sinks. And then rise up really high onto the balls of both feet, really lifting tall. And then soften your knees. Push the belly back towards the knees. Keep the heels lifted. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, let the heels sink as low towards the mat as they can go. One more breath in. And out. Look forward. Tiptoe the feet to the top of your mat, finding forward fold. We'll do a ragdoll here. Feet hip-width distance apart. Halfway lift. And then ragdoll as you exhale, fold. Knees are bent a lot, belly resting on the thighs. Fingertips draping to the ground or grabbing opposite elbows here. Take a deep breath in. And then let the brain drain and melt on the exhale. Drinking in one more breath here. And melting it out. Release the fingertips if you took a bind. And then slowly begin to unravel, really grounding into the legs to help support you as you rise up into Tadasana, your first standing pose here. Lifting up, standing tall at attention, stepping your feet a little closer together. All right, palms open up, heart open, eyes open, fully arriving here on our mats. Taking our first sun salutation. Let's inhale, like rays of a sun, reach out, reach up, take a full body stretch. On the exhale, take a swan dive down, soften the knees, and meet your fingertips on the earth. Halfway lift, inhale, hands to shins or thighs, palms to mat. On the exhale, step it back, high plank. We'll pause this first time. So really activating through the palms and arms, drawing that navel in. Maybe the knees drop. At any time you need to find more stability, to rediscover some ease in your breath. One more moment here. The exhale will take us all the way down, belly to the mats. Uncurl your toes, and then we'll come into Cobra. So inhale, peel the chest up. Exhale, let it down. Tuck the toes, make your way back up through tabletop or plank and into your downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Take a deep breath in here. Empty out. Then look to your hands and slowly walk, step, or float feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow it down. One more time, inhale, reach out and up, stretching it tall. And then exhale takes you all the way back down, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the earth, feet go back. You can always even skip these push-ups. Otherwise, you're gonna use that full exhale to lower down, and then choosing your Cobra, or maybe finding a full up dog. The thighs lift, the arms straighten, and then tuck your toes, lift your hips and pause. So we're just here to continually arrive at the space within our skin, within our minds, checking in with your breath as a barometer for your practice. Is it steady? Is it shallow? How can you find a powerful place of presence here? One more inhale and exhale. On your inhale, look forward. Take the feet to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to meet right at your heart center. Let's pause. All right, begin to shift the weight into your left foot. And we're gonna do a little bit of balance here. So first, just shifting into your left foot, begin to reach your right knee off. Take a moment to re-establish this nice, strong, one-legged posture. And then we're just gonna open up into goddess pose. So you're gonna open that right knee and then you're gonna step it to the back of your mat so that we're in a nice goddess or horse pose here. We're gonna inhale, reach out into star, stretch palms wide, and then exhale, bend the elbows and knees, coming deep into that goddess. Two more just like that. Inhale, and then exhale, deep into goddess. We're really getting into those hips today. Inhale, let's stretch it high. And exhale, let's go deep and then pause here. Just kind of settle down as deep as you can, really feeling those knees pulling away from each other, the heart opening up here. And then corset in your lower ribs. Take one more breath in, sink a little deeper out. Coming back into that star, inhale, reach it out. We're gonna turn over the left leg, finding warrior two. So bend into the left knee. You're straightening into the back foot. Arms are coming parallel. Similar to where we were with that knee on the ground. We're gonna inhale, come together, palms touch, straighten the left knee, and then exhale, take it out. Two more like that. Inhale, palms together, and then exhale it out. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, take it out, pause here. And again, tick-tock the arms. This time you can set your elbow or your forearm on the left thigh, or you can bring your elbow to the inside of the knee. So we're not trying to rest our weight on that lower arm, but instead stay lifted, stay reaching up through that right arm. And you can keep that right arm straight to the sky, or take it in a diagonal here, really extending long through that right side body. Notice where the shoulders are. See if you can relax them from the ears here. Take one more breath in and out. Grounding through the feet, inhale, rise. On the exhale, flip the left palm. On your next inhale, scoop it back. Big breath, reverse your warrior. And then we're gonna take the hands of the mat, either vinyasa or step straight back to downward facing dog. So you can skip our little push up here if it's not serving you this evening. And we'll all meet with the hips high. Take a breath in and let it go. And then look forward. Feet meet the hands, walk, step, or float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Stretch all the way high to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring the thumbs to meet your heart. This time, rooting in towards that right foot. We'll begin to lift the left knee up, finding some balance here. Taking another inhale and exhale. And then beginning to open that left knee. We're taking it all the way to the back of the mat to find goddess pose. I'll turn to face you guys. So knees are open over the ankles. We're going to inhale, straighten arms, straighten knees. Exhale, bend knees, bend arms. Goddess pose. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend it deep. Inhale, take it high. And exhale, deep. Pause here. Take an inhale. As you exhale this time, bring the hands onto the tops of your thighs, and you're going to sink a little deeper in the hips. And I don't normally tell you this, but I want you to let the shoulders kind of come up to your ears. You're making a little bit of a brace here. Take an inhale and center. As you exhale, begin to bend your left elbow as you turn and push that right shoulder into the center. I'm gently pressing onto my inner right thigh. Inhale, come to center. As you exhale, take it to the other side. So you're gently pushing in the inside of that left thigh. One more time to center. Exhale, bring that right shoulder in. Inhale to center, and as you exhale, left shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten your legs, straighten your arms. One more starfish. Then we're turning over the right this time, and we're gonna find warrior two. Bending in that right knee coming over your ankle, arms straighten up. Then we're gonna inhale, straighten the right knee, bring the palms together, finding triangle legs. Exhale, back into that deep bend, arms wide. Inhale, coming up, straighten the right knee. Exhale, bending deep. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, bend, pause, and start to tilt. You can take that right elbow to the right thigh, left arm stacking to the sky. Maybe the elbow comes to the inside of that right knee. And lastly, maybe the left arm extends long, finding a full extended side angle, reaching long through the left side body. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Inhale, begin to rise up, pause. On your exhale, flip that right palm. Inhale, scoop it back, reverse your warrior, big breath in. And then as you exhale, palms meet the mat. Your choice to take a vinyasa or just step straight back into your down dog, whatever serves you today. Take a deep breath in. And then empty yourself out. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. You're going to bring your thumbs together so that they're almost there, that they're touching here. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees. You're going to try to jump your feet around your hands. And if you need to step there, no big deal. Just have a little fun. So you're now at the top of your mat in a little yogi squat. And see if you may need to walk your feet a little bit wider so that you can get your heels onto the ground. So turn them out, get your heels on the ground, elbows to inner thighs, palms together. And as you press into the palms, as you really find those thumbs coming towards the center of your heart, you're using your elbows to open up those knees. And if this is at all uncomfortable, you just bring the hips up a little bit higher. Take an inhale and exhale here. Like I said, we're getting into the hips here. You're going to take the right hand down to the earth. Inhale, reach up and open through that left arm. You can stay here, maybe bind, or using that left hand on the left knee, wherever it needs to be for you. And then come back to center. Take an inhale, straighten your legs, reach up high. Kind of wiggle it out. And then we're going to exhale, come all the way back down into that deep squat. This time, the left hand's going to come down to the mat. You're going to inhale, reach up and open through that right arm. Take a breath in. You can bind it here or use that right knee. And then come back to center. Leave the hands on the ground this time. Straighten the legs. Just toe heel your feet a little narrower together. Kind of take the fists of your hands, and you can give yourself a little bit of a beating, a little bit of a massage on the outer thighs, on the hips. Should feel really good here. And then go ahead and release back into that forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Palms come to the earth. Step your feet back. Final vinyasa. Or just come straight up into your downward dog. Take an inhale, last downward dog. Exhale it out. We're going to take the knees wide, big toes together. Sit back. Let's find child's pose. Ground the forehead. Take a couple breaths here. So this practice, we've been preparing ourselves for our next pose, our peak pose of frog. So before we go into a full frog, we're going to take tadpole, which is a little bit more challenging than our child's pose, but not quite as challenging as our final frog. So for this one, if you have sensitive knees, we're going to turn sideways on the mat. If you have sensitive knees, you can kind of fold up the sides of your mat, or even use like a blanket or something to cushion your knees. So for this one, you're going to be similar to child's pose. So the knees are going to be wide, the big toes are going to be together. But instead of sitting your hips back towards the heels, we're going to kind of imagine we're making a diamond shape. So you're going to come, those knees are wide, big toes together. You're going to walk your hands and hips forward, and then maybe see if the knees can come even further apart. They may come even further. And then you come and start to drop onto the forearms. And then from here, maybe you're not feeling that much, so you continue to walk the knees apart. And so this is our tadpole. We can stay right here and arrive at whatever sensation you're experiencing on your inner thighs and hips. And then from here to intensify, if you want to go into our full frog pose, begin to lift the hips a bit forward and just take your feet out. And you want to bring the ankles now in line with the knees. So it's almost like we're doing that goddess pose on our mats. And you're trying to sink your hips back towards your heels. And so take a moment and, aside from this posture being intense in opening up our physical body, the purpose of these physical poses is a lot deeper than just getting a nice good stretch in our body. It's really meant to help us develop a deeper understanding of how we meet stressful situations. So this pose is very stressful for a lot of us. So there can be a tendency to kind of clench, to grip, to hold our breath, or maybe even to tighten in our hips that we're trying to loosen because, we fear that discomfort or that sensation that we're feeling. And it's when we get into our fight or flight. Keep breathing here. We want to fight it, right? Or we want to come out of it because it's too intense. And our yogi way is that third way, that we just stay in it and we breathe. And we see if we can become more resilient in those moments where our tendency is to immediately react. Can we take a step back, assess the discomforts, and breathe? And before you know it, I'm going to say just 2 more breaths. And then I can do this for 2 more breaths. Just this breath. And just this breath. We're going to make your way out however works for you. I kind of like to lay down on my belly and walk my legs back. Oh, goodness. And then roll the mat all the way out. We're actually going to come onto our bellies here. Stack your forearms and just take a moment to breathe. I want you to bend your knees and just let your feet windshield wipe from side to side. It's beginning to release any sensations in the low back or the hips. And go ahead and straighten the legs back down to the floor. And breath in and out here. Continue to breathe deeply here. Instead of resisting your breath by trying to push against the solid earth, allow the breath to lift into the back body, into the back of the heart, mid-back, lower back. Taking a few more breaths here. This nice, nourishing belly down Shavasana. And begin to bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up through tabletop and begin to shift your feet to either side, bringing the hips down onto the ground and letting your legs come all the way out in front of you. We're going to lie down onto our backs here to begin to settle in. So as you come down onto your back, just bring the knees with you and hug them close into the chest. Maybe rock and roll a few times side to side. And then take the soles of your feet straight up towards the sky. You can bring the hands underneath the low back for a waterfall. Maybe kind of work through the feet a little bit here. Long deep breath. And begin to take the hands out from underneath. You're going to bend your knees so it looks like you're laying down in a chair. So knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. Arms can come out straight or at a cactus. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to let your knees fall over to the left side, all the way to the ground. So as you notice, my right shoulder popped up. Just kind of wiggle yourself in a way where you're working that right shoulder to try to ground back down. If you want to assist yourself here, use that left hand on that right knee and gently press the knee down and towards the earth. Our final spinal twist, we wring out anything that remains from our day that may keep us from really finding this peaceful surrender. If you're taking that assist with your left hand, go ahead and release it. Take an inhale, using your core, draw the knees up through center. And then as you exhale, let the knees fall over to the right side, all the way into the earth. Once again, if that left shoulder pops up, settle it back down. And maybe that right hand becomes an assist. Settling long, deep breath in here. Last breath in and out. And go ahead and release that bind or that assist if you have it. Go ahead, draw the knees back up into the center of your chest. So you're going to take your arms and wrap them up, lift your head, wrap yourself into a really big embrace, a really big hug. Squeeze it all in. Take another breath in, squeeze. And then as you exhale, release yourself all the way onto the back. Allow the palms to turn to the sky. As you find your way into your final surrender, Shavasana. And let your mind step out of its active state of thinking, figuring out, and just begin to simply observe. Starting with your breath, just observe the rise and fall, the natural rhythm of your breath. Begin to get a sense of your physical container. See if there's a way to actively relax. Any places there might be a little bit of tension or any way to get just a little more comfortable, go ahead and take a moment to arrive a little more fully into the state of surrender. And for this final minute here, we're just going to take really big, full breaths to just breathe and be. Go ahead and begin to bring a little movement back into the fingers and your toes. And then taking your arms overhead perhaps and begin to wake up with a full body stretch. Fingers and toes reach opposite directions. And the knees roll in towards your chest. And take yourself either over into the fetal position or you can rock and roll yourself upright. We're going to meet finding a seat wherever you are. Just crossing your legs in a Sukhasana pose. We're just going to bring the palms of the hands together in front of our heart center in our simple Anjali Mudra, where we seal in this practice, the wisdom we've gained, the resilience that we've fostered, and the connection that we've made to ourselves. May we continue this journey of yoga as we step off our mat into those moments when we could really use these mindful and breathing practices. With the palms together, go ahead and close the eyes if you haven't already and take a moment to honor yourself for taking this time to move and breathe and be a little more authentic. And just acknowledging that virtual community that practiced with us today. So grateful to have each and every one of you in this online practice. Namaste.